economic importance of the market is that it makes up approximately 11% of total travel within Australia, and that's been valued at 8 billion expenditure at the moment. That's made up of day trips, overnight travel, inbound travel and outgoing travel. One of the important things about doing the economic valuation of the accessible tourism market was to produce valid and reliable figures. And we did that through industry standard approaches, bringing together major secondary data sources of the federal government, that was the National Visitor Survey, together with the tourism satellite accounts, engaging a very well-experienced and world-renowned tourism economist, Professor Larry Dwyer, and getting the rigour and also a detailed understanding of what the market was and how it was to be valued. When we were exploring the Disability Ageing and Carers survey, which showed that approximately 19% of the Australian population had a disability, only 11% of those travelled. Now, that shows that there's a potential for a greater economic impact if we're able to facilitate and enable travel by that group of people. And that's been valued at an extra 3.5 to 4 billion if the industry and government get it right. There are a range of more recent estimates that have come out, but the ones that we're certainly confident of are that in Europe there was a 80 billion euro spend that was associated with the accessible tourism market. If Tourism New Zealand are to be serious, then they need to have a module on disability that allows the monitoring of not just numbers, but regional dispersion and a serious look at what the economic contribution is to New Zealand from accessible tourism already. Validated economic studies show that when you discriminate against a person with a disability, you're actually missing out on 3 to 4 people with a day trip and 3 to 5 people with an overnight stay. So it's not just the individual that you discriminate against, it's the group that they're travelling with, and of course the money that the group brings with them. From a business perspective, you've got to consider all dimensions of access. So the major ones being mobility, hearing, vision and cognitive, and be inclusive of those groups. They've each got their own customer service needs, they've each got their own requirements for information provision, and unless your front desk is ready to answer those questions, then you'll lose them at the first call. Accessible tourism is a collaborative process across stakeholder groups, different jurisdictions, different transport modes, different ways that information are provided. This type of project is not difficult to do, but what it requires is commitment and engagement by destination marketing authorities to make sure that their destinations are accessible for all.